We're live. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl, Siren, right here on the Siren Speak show. Hello, you guys. We took a poll, and you guys wanted to discuss love. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? So as you guys tune up into the building, you guys don't forget to come in and give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Okay, I appreciate it. Now listen, I have not gotten a mic. Okay, your girl Siren is very much so throwback. I'm old school, y'all, so I don't know about all of this technical stuff. So just bear with me as I learn. Okay, so I already told Bae, you know, like, hey, Bae, I think I need to go ahead and get a mic. Now listen, I bought a camera, a vlogging camera 4 years ago. It's literally still in the box. And I know that one has a mic along with it. So it's still in the box, y'all. So that's how technical I am. I literally just got used to using my phone. So that's why I was using that. And I finally got good with it. So I'm like, why switch it up? You know? So today we're going to be talking about love, you guys. If you haven't already, check out the video that we talked about last time when it comes to health, okay? And we will be, you know, switching up what it is that we talk about throughout the weeks. Over here we go live, you guys, Mondays and Wednesdays, okay? So Mondays and Wednesdays are our live days. I'm trying to incorporate Fridays, but I'm not sure. Okay. So yes, shout out to each and every one of you. And like I said, thank you to everyone who come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up. I really, truly appreciate it. So for those of you who watch the vlogs, y'all, I am rocking my fresh face look. Okay. So, yes, I told you guys I was going to try a clean face look and I was going to show it to y'all. And this is what it is. So y'all will see a little bit more detail in regards to what it is that I use in the vlog. Okay, so just be patient with me as I get that up, y'all. But today, like I said, we're going to be talking about relationships, you guys. Before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and mention you guys have been asking, where is the music for those of you who like the music in my vlogs? All right. The music, every song you hear, from Cooking in Stilettos, every song that you hear, you guys, is a song that I wrote and recorded. Okay. So for those of you who really have been saying you enjoy the music and where is it that you can purchase the music, you guys can go to siren.com. Okay. You can go to siren.com and you can purchase the music there. You can also purchase some of my beauty products if you are so interested. The products that I make, not only do they have luxurious beauty benefits, they also have nice cleanse and healing benefits as well. So you will see products like body scrub, body wash, body oil. You guys, that's how your girls stay looking young, okay? I've been using these products for over 5 years now. And I decided to make them for the public, and I have been able, it's been longer than 5 years. Y'all, it's been about 8 or 9 years. It's been a long time. Wow. So anywho, I decided to make them for the public, and the public has been enjoying my products for well over about 6 or 7 years, y'all. Okay. So shout out to each and every one of you. Like I said, you can go to siren.com, you guys, if you want to purchase the music or if you want to purchase a body scrub, a body wash. I would say don't knock it until you try it. Okay. The name of the brand is called Boo Sachet. Okay. Y'all go ahead and get y'all some of that Boo Sachet. Y'all don't know about that. See, it's very different. It's very unique, and it's very powerful, and it's very magical. Let's put it that way, right? It'll keep your skin on point. I'm going to be doing a routine, like a beauty and skincare routine, you guys, really introducing more of the products so you guys can see, because a lot of you are like, you want to see a skincare routine and things of that nature, y'all. And I'm like, okay, you know, if y'all want to see it, it is what it is. I'm gonna give it to you. All right. So that's that, siren.com, y'all. And thank you, like I said, to each and every one of you who go and purchase a product. Even if you purchase like one of the songs, you guys, everything that I make over there go towards, well, not everything that I make as far as the music over there, it goes towards the Siren mission. Okay. Each year I do book bag drives. I also do Christmas toy drives, you guys. I've been doing this on my own for well over, I'm gonna say 15 18 years now, okay, on my own. I used to take my little paycheck and do it. And now I take, funds from the business, and I continue to give back and put back into neighborhoods of those who are less fortunate. So I've been doing that for so many years now. When you guys watch my vlogs, you will see I tend to take you guys with me along the way from time to time. So all of the proceeds from the music that I make, y'all, it's kind of like back in the day when you used to sell your CDs out the trunk of your car. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? I used to have my music on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. I had my music all over. Y'all, let me tell you something. After they make their coin, you literally probably get a penny. So I'm like, the music industry was just eating me up, okay? Literally eating me up. I got probably about $1,800 now stuck in a machine that I can't get it out because they say, nope, we can't release your money until you make $2,000. I'm literally at $1,891. That's just sitting there. So I was able to pull my music back, okay? And this is why y'all hear my music. I'd rather play my music on my own platform for free, okay, than to just let these music companies just continue to eat off of the music, eat off it, and you never see a dime. Honestly, you don't. So yeah. But like I said, everything that you guys purchase as far as the music will go towards the Siren mission, you guys, and will help out someone who is less fortunate and in need. So shout out to each and every one of you, because as I grow, y'all grow. That's right. I pull my gems up with me. Okay, I do. So y'all, what are we talking about? Y'all, I gotta pull up the whatchamacallit. Okay, let me pull up the live, y'all. Hey to everyone who's tuned up into hey y'all. Hey, you a new subby? Oh, you are God sent. I need an intro, period. Okay. Y'all, listen. Y'all been showing me so much love. I'm telling you, I got to stop doing that. Y'all show me so much love. It is ridiculous. I just be like, I be in awe, y'all. I be in tears, especially those of you who watch the vlogs and stuff. And y'all just have been really like giving me such great feedback and just really showing me so much love. And y'all know I feel it, baby. I feel it, okay? And I appreciate you, each and every one of you. My women, y'all, listen. When we come together, when we line up and get in formation, okay, yo, can't nothing break and pierce through that. Nothing can break and pierce through that. I'm telling you now. It's just, I've seen the power, and I continuously see it with each and every one of your comments, each and every one of your likes and your subscriptions. So like I said, thank y'all so much, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get into the topic. I asked, what is it that y'all want to talk about? Y'all say silent. We want to talk about love. So that's what we're going to talk about, you guys. Let me see what it is that I put. Relationship advice, Lord Jesus, what does it say? How to reach your relationship goals in 2026. Okay. How to reach your relationship goals. First of all, I want y'all to put in the comment section, what are your relationship goals, you guys? Now, we're not talking about people just if you have a goal. Do you have a goal? That's the first relationship goal, is to have one. Okay, the first relationship goal is to have a goal. Does any of you, if you have a relationship goal, I want you to put it in the comment section. Okay, and see exactly what your relationship goal. Okay, what is one healthy relationship goal that you are working on right now? That's what you need to, we got to start with the foundation, and that's your foundation, is your actual goal. Okay, so what is one healthy relationship goal that you are working on when it comes to love? Okay, so now that we have decided, okay, what our goal is, are some of you, do you want to get married? Do you not want to get married? That's something that I think a lot of us, we don't take the time to ponder on. Okay, it's kind of like you go out in the streets, you might be looking good and fly, you might be hanging with your girl, or maybe you just on your way to Target or Walmart, whatever it is, it's like some random guy. Because remember, we have to remember, men are hunters. Okay, that's their element. They hunt. They will only talk to you if they like you, if they want you, if they see something in you that they feel they want and or need. Outside of that, a man has absolutely nothing to say to you. Do you see how men are? They are so direct. They have a goal. They have a mission. They have an idea of what they want and what they don't want. I think as women, we tend to be a little more laid back, and we kind of accept, whoever it is. Hey, what's up, la mama? Excuse me, ma'am. excuse me, hello, can I have your, we just tend to accept like, okay, I'll try, see whatever, because he asked me for my phone number, I gave it to him. That's not a reason. Especially if you have a goal. If your goal is, okay, that you're wanting to get married, you're wanting to get engaged, if you're looking for something serious, and even if you are looking to just have fun, you still need to have a goal. Hold up, y'all. You still need to have a goal, okay? Hey, Gammy G Entertainment. Okay, I read that, I'm sorry. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? Hey, babe. Hey, y'all. You say, hey, a little late, watching now, period. Shout out to y'all. Okay, just to have a like-minded tribe that doesn't center men. Okay, so when it comes to, I guess that would be more like friendship. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at more of relationship goals when it comes to a man, or when it comes to a woman, or whatever your significant other would be. Relationship goals, you guys. Now, when it comes to finding a like-minded tribe, honey, yes. We're gonna talk about that in another live, because that's a whole other conversation right there. Okay, but the next live, when we come on here Wednesday, we'll talk about how to find your tribe. Okay, let me go ahead and write that down, because I've been forgot it. Okay, how to find your tribe, because that is very important in life, you guys. When it comes to what friends, the last thing you want is a friend that doesn't give you what it is that you're giving in a friendship. No one wants to feel used and abused. As well as when it comes to family members, a lot of us think family members are those who are born into our family, but y'all, we family. You know what I'm saying? Really knowing how to find your true family. Not every family member that comes to your family reunion is a family member. They just so happen to be born into the bloodline that you were born in, okay? Family is a very tight word, and we're going to talk more about that as well in the future. Okay. Hey, Fortune on Red. Okay. Being teammates through life's highs and lows. Now that's really good. So y'all want to find a man that, when it comes to teammates, you have to understand, when it comes to teammates and playing a game, everyone has a position. Okay, everyone has a position. And I think that when we allow the man to have his position, I think as women, we tend to want to play the male role a lot. We not only do we want to nurture him, but we kind of want to re-raise him sometimes. And we have to, sometimes we do, we have to re-raise him. But there was a lady, Peyton, y'all, for those of you who know, there is a content creator who goes by the name of Peyton. And I saw a short. I don't know if she posted it or if somebody else posted it. And in this short, she said, I guess I need to learn how to beg. I need to learn how to allow a man to take care of me and provide for me. Now, I don't know if Peyton been watching these lives, but I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, a lot of your folk watch my lives, okay? And speaking of watching my lives, there was one content creator who goes by the name of Bree. See, I call everybody out by name, okay? This is just how Siren do, because we grown over here, right? I don't have to say anything and be, sideways about it. I'm very straight up, okay? That's just me. I mean no harm. I mean no disrespect. I'm just a truthful person like that, right? I'm gonna come direct. You ain't gonna be guessing, and you ain't gonna have to hear nobody else come tell you, okay? So she made recently, I saw, because she was really honestly like one of the only content creators that I would watch. Well, we're gonna leave it at that. So she made a comment on one of her recent vlogs where she said, the type of lives or podcasts or something that I want to watch. I don't want to hear nobody talking about how to get a man to take care of you, or how to get a man, what a man's supposed to do in a relationship. And she stated the women over 50, in the 50s, Team 50, shall I say, she stated the type of women who are in Team 50 that she would want to be like, or admire, or who motivate or inspire her, or things of that nature. Now, I don't know if that was a little shade to old Siren. Y'all know I'm always putting my nose where the hell it is. I smell something fishy, okay? But it is okay. You don't have to watch the lives if that's for you. If it ain't, only a hit dog gonna holler, okay? But you don't have to watch the live. There's a lot of people who I reached out and said, and this is not to her, I'm just saying for people, we're talking about relationships today. Sometimes we're going to talk about motivational things. Sometimes we're going to talk about life things. Sometimes we're going to talk about spiritual things. But this is why I asked for you guys' opinion and what it is that you want to hear about. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about relationships. So Bree, if you're watching, click off. You know what I'm saying? Don't tune in, girl, because you ain't going to like it. Now, what I am going to say is when people, from my perspective, when people don't like to hear about like conversations about a man taking care of you or a man being in a masculine position where the man is supposed to provide, sometimes women who don't have a male who is a provider or who can be a provider will feel uncomfortable listening to those conversations. And I want y'all to feel very comfortable listening to the fact that I, Siren, truly believe that the man is supposed to be a provider. Okay, the man is supposed to take care of you. The man is supposed to make sure that you are okay. There are certain things in the household that the man should do. Okay, like taking out the trash. If you have a man in your life and you still take out your own trash, don't reevaluate him. You have to reevaluate you. Okay. Some women choose to, or it's okay with pumping their gas and things of that nature. But to me, I'm old school, you guys, okay? And although I wasn't raised in a household where my mother had a man in her life, I think my mom she had a man, but she wasn't married. And my mom mostly dated, honestly, to keep it real, my mom mostly dated married men. So my mom didn't teach me what to do. My mom showed me what not to do. Okay. My mom had majority of her kids were married men. Okay. She used to play them songs, Betty Wright and all of that. You know what I'm saying? After the pain. And what was that Whitney Houston song she used to play? Oh God, I can't even think of none of the songs, but I know all of the songs about the side pieces. Okay. And as a young girl, my mom was so beautiful. Right. But something probably just wasn't registering self-esteem wise. And, as I watched my mom be the side piece. Now, even though my mom was the side piece, y'all, she had men who they did these things. You know what I'm saying? They took out the trash and, I saw them. I watched them do these manly things, even though they probably left and went home to their wife, which is sad, y'all. Like I say, my mom showed me what not to do. Okay. And it's just like growing up watching, these men, I saw them do things, but I also saw them leave. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they would spend the night, sometimes they would spend the week, but then, they would hop, I guess. When you had men back in the 70s and, late 60s and 80s, and when they had money, they had women, you know what I'm saying? They had multiple women. So, and the women didn't care back then. They was just like, long as he come here, he paid them bills. Now, one thing I'm gonna say was they left the coins. Okay. Mama was definitely about the coins. Okay. And she, mandated there were certain things that my mom just wouldn't tolerate. Now, dealing with a guy who didn't have any funds or things of that nature, he may have had a wife, he may have had a life, but he definitely had to have enough funds, to take care of my mom, her household, and things of that nature. So, but what I learned when I got older, you guys, was one, I didn't ever want to date a married man. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to married men, why do we want to stay away? The minute we meet somebody, the minute you have that feeling, that pitter patter in your heart that you feel when you meet him and you think he's cute and you think about him beyond the fact that he done gave you his phone number and things of that nature. This is why I always say we need to have healthy conversations. Okay. From the time you meet him, you must have healthy conversations. And what are healthy conversations? If he is uncomfortable with having any conversation with you, let's say you say, well, I think the first question should be, are you married? Okay. I think that is the first question. Okay. Are you married? So a lot of times we can get in relationships with these men. And guess what? These men are married and they don't tell you why, because you never asked. They're not going to volunteer that information all the time. Right? So first thing we want to do is ask, are you married? Are you married? You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't worried about if he have a girlfriend. That's another conversation. If he got a girlfriend, if he's dating somebody, y'all have to understand when it comes to love is a game. You are now a competitor. You are now in a competition for this man. If you feel like you want him to be your husband or your significant other, you are now in a competition. And I think that as single women, we tend to get that confused because we want him to be with us and only with us. Okay. The ring is the prize, but there's a way to get here. And I think a lot of us feel like the minute we meet him and we go on 1, 2, 3 dates, oh, that's it. I'm only with him and he's only with me and things of that nature. If you were to meet a man who decides, okay, I'm only going to be with you, then okay, that's good. That's like a bonus. But I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of you give up on a man or give up on a situation because you feel like, oh, he talking to Tanya and he talking to Keita and he talking to Marilyn. Your goal is to get him to the point where he only wants to be with you. Okay? You got to work so hard at being that woman that you have to get him to the point where he don't want to talk to Tanya. He don't want to talk to Marilyn. He only want to talk to you. How are you going to do that? This is where you have to invest in yourself. First of all, that conversation, when you caking, a lot of you be caking too much for me. Okay. I'd be like, that's too much caking. Caking is when you having conversations. Okay. On the phone with the dude, you know how it is. Hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm okay. Today was all right. You know, caking. Okay. You don't want to cake too much when you first meet them. Okay. So when we meet these men and of course they have another woman or maybe they're in between relationships or, you know, whatever it is, your main concern is, are you married? If he say yes, I would say, you know, toss that piece to the side, you know what I'm saying? And just start over from scratch with somebody else. Okay. If he's in like you know, if he's married, I would just say, yeah, don't even go with the married men. Okay. Just toss him to the side, send him back home to wherever he's messing with, whoever he's messing with and whoever he's married to. Don't even get involved in that. Just spare yourself the trouble when it comes to that. Okay. Excuse me. But if he says, well, no, I'm not married or, you know, things of that nature, then I would say, all right, time to move on. Okay. Definitely time to move on and start those healthy conversations. Now, listen, you don't want to give him too much conversation, especially when you meet him in public. And this is why I say y'all need to dress up. Y'all have to be ready every day. You have to leave your house as if you are about to meet your husband. And if he's going to recognize the highest version of you. Okay. He's going to recognize you in your beauty. If we walking out the door with a bonnet and some slides and a house dress on, we ain't ready for that. We are not ready for bae. We're telling the universe, I ain't ready. Today ain't the day. And I know we have some days where we don't feel our best, but you can always look your best, okay? You can make any of those cramps and pains and all of that stuff look really good, all right? So you definitely have to make sure that you invest in yourself with the way that you look. Every time you leave out your house, you letting the world know, are you ready for success or are you ready for mediocrity or are you ready for failure? Okay, depending on what it is that you're wearing, how it is that you look, you know, the way you present yourself. When you walk out of that door, I'm telling you, the world is going to treat you. Unfortunately, we're in a third dimensional world. Okay, so we vibrate off of a lot of material stuff, right? We vibrate off of looks and lust and things of that nature. They got to want what you have. They have to want you. They have to look at you and, oh, damn, girl. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of energy right there. So you definitely have to serve it. As women, you know, we are out there ready for the hunt. And we're talking about love. We're ready for the hunt. The men are the hunters. Should we approach a man? I don't think so. Okay. Some people say siren, you know, he didn't make the first move, then he's not the one. Okay. You have to allow a man to be in his masculine energy. Allow him to find you. Allow him to be in that role. I think when we introduce ourselves to a man and when we pursue a man, the roles are reversed. And granted, it can turn into a lasting relationship. It can turn into a marriage and all of that stuff. But whenever the roles are reversed, we may come from an unhealthy aspect, which means as you're in that relationship, you may be the breadwinner. Okay. And he may make money and things of that nature, but you may be the breadwinner. Or emotionally, he may be emotionally unavailable since he's not strong enough to approach women. Somewhere, somehow he got some unresolved trauma. And the last thing you want to do is deal with that. Okay. So you definitely want to allow yourself to remain in a feminine energy and allow yourself to be pursued. Okay. By the man, allow him to come in and allow him to be in that masculine role and allow him to, you know, take care of you, allow him to open the door for you, you know, and let him know what it is that you expect. I think a lot of us are just hoping that a man get it. Some of them don't know. Y'all, some of them don't know. You have to say, well, in those healthy relationships, when y'all first get together, you have to say, listen, I expect a man to open the door for me. I expect a man to take out the trash. I expect a man who's going to, do this, or whatever it is that you're expecting from him. You have to let him know. I think a lot of us are not having those healthy conversations, and we're just hoping that they come in and that they just do what it is that we want them to do when we haven't even explained them. It's like having a job and nobody told you what it is that you need to do. It's like, okay, just figure out. And every time you do something good, we're going to say, yay. And every time you do something bad, we're going to say, nah. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure, you guys, that we are very open in our communication, and we are very open when it comes to what it is that we want and what it is that we need. Okay. Another thing that I want to discuss, you guys, when it comes to, well, we'll keep talking about that part first. All right. Let me see if you guys have any questions for anybody who's up in the chat. If you got, hey, what is it? Household Flavory. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Hey, y'all. Hey to everybody who's tuned up into, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all. So we're looking for love, you guys. We're talking about love. We're talking about relationships, how to have healthy relationships. I think the best way to get somebody to be the best partner is to have those conversations where you can tell them what you want, and you have to ask them what it is that they want. Some men might be like, oh no, well, tell me what would make you feel that you are loved. I saw a recent video where this guy was talking about, I think he's a Houston, Texas rapper or something. I don't know. But he did an interview and he was talking about, I want to treat a woman the way I want my daughter to be treated. So he's like, I want to open the door for her. I want to take care of her. I want to make sure she have everything that she needs. I want to make sure she feels safe and she feels secure and things of that nature. But then he went on to say, but she got to make me feel loved. She got to show me that she's loyal to me. He was like, he wanted her to kind of be submissive. Now, that's where there's a thin line, you guys, okay? Because we have two types of love. We have love and we have unconditional love. Okay, so you have conditional love and unconditional love. Now, when you are in conditional love, that is a very unhealthy love, which means I'm only with you for this reason. If you don't do this, then I'm not going to love you. That is unconditional love. Some women say, well, for as long as he treat me right, or for as long as he does this, or for as long as he does that, then I will be with him, or I will love him. But if he cheats on me, I'm not going to love him. There are men who want women to do certain things. Okay, long as she do this, or long as she do that, long as she, have it like this. That is, whenever you place a condition on your love, you guys, it's not coming from a sincere place. Okay, we don't want to be in a conditional love. We want to love somebody regardless. And I'm going to tell you why, because that is where you're going to learn the healthiest life lessons in that connection. Now, let me give you an example. Because a lot of us say, I'm going to love him. I'm going to be with him and I'm going to love him long as he stay faithful to me. Let's say you're in a relationship with a guy and this guy loves you and he's with you. However, you get to some point where he cheats, where you say he cheats, okay? Now you find out something is off and you find out he's down the street with Tanya, okay? And now you're pissed off. Now, emotionally, you want to do things to hurt him. You want to piss him off because you feel like he's not being loyal to you. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe he's down here messing with Tanya. He's cheating on me. He's with somebody else. And, you feel like he's doing you dirty. So before, if he would have been doing right by you, you would love him. Oh, hey, babe, and this and that. But the minute you find out that there's another woman, you are ready to bust the windows out of his car. Okay, you are ready to do all type of things to this guy. And just imagine the emotion that comes with that, with knowing that he's down there with somebody else or that he's with another girl. That is a very conditional love. First of all, when we are dating, okay, this is for those of us who are not married. When we are dating, you guys, it gives off like, okay, we have to understand that there's going to be competition. See, I think as women, we don't understand that, it can get a little lazy. When you have to fight for this man, when you have to be there, you know what I'm saying, and show him the best of you, and give him, not like that, the best of you, but I'm saying energetic wise, give him the best of you. A lot of us can grow tired. And we like, oh my God, I'm giving you the best of me and you still down here with Tanya, then you haven't given him the best of you. You know what I'm saying? You have to really honestly love yourself enough to say one thing, either I'm going to stay in this connection or I'm going to leave this connection. We cannot get mad at him because he's down there with Tanya. We have to get mad at you for one. If you want to stay, then you know that this is something that you're going to deal with. Now you have to put in more work to keep him more interested in you so he ain't running down there to Tanya, okay? And then, we have to make sure that we show ourselves, that we do love ourselves based upon a situation. I think a strong woman will probably leave, but a stronger woman will stay. When it comes to me and when it comes to my relationship, you guys, when I first started messing with Bae, there were other interests. I'm most certain there were other interests. And there were other women, around when he and I first, like our first year, there were other women. I never felt threatened. I never felt like, okay, I'm going to get mad because he's messing with her. Whenever I felt another woman around or whenever I detected the energy of him being drawn towards another woman, I just stepped my game up. Okay, I just stepped my game up. And because we're in a competition, if I see this guy, he has potential, then guess what? That's what a competition is, where you have to continue to put your best foot forward and may the best woman win. And in my situation, I was the best woman because I ended up winning. But if I would have gave up and been like, oh, I don't feel like fighting, I think a lot of times as women, we realize that we have to know where we put our energy, know when to, step up and know when to back out. Okay. But some of you have given up on some really good men, because you didn't want to compete. You really didn't want to compete, right? So, you have to make sure that you're constantly putting that energy into yourself. Make sure that you're constantly putting your best foot forward. Okay. I brought out the better lingerie. Okay, I'm like every time he came over, your girl was looking, hey, how you doing today? And I never questioned him. I never asked him, even though if I knew, what I'm saying? Like there was one time I got a phone call from a family member who was like, yeah, I just seen your boyfriend. I seen your man. What? There were conversations about that. Like, oh, I seen him talking to this chick or, I see him at this chick's house. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's this and I know it's that. Honey, listen, that means that when he came to see me, because he was coming to see me, okay? When he came to see me, when he walked in that house, yes, that dinner was cooking. That food was on the stove smelling fire. And when he walked in there, your girl was all crisp and clean and looking so sexy. And not once did I say, oh, well, was you at such and such? For what? Why am I bringing her into my moment? Why am I bringing her and that situation into my moment? This is my opportunity to shine so that he don't want to go over there. Okay. And that's what we have to do, you guys. We have to realize that this love is a competition and we play to win. We play to win. Okay. And whenever it got to the point where I feel like, I think there was one situation where they told me that, they bought a woman something. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. I think he bought this woman a pair of shoes or something, right? That was like the gossip of it, right? Oh, he took her out and he bought her some shoes and stuff of that nature. Okay, so you got extra money? Oh, okay. So now I have to request more things because I know you have, extra money to do with, as you please. So you best believe when he came over there to me, my bills went up a little higher and my demands went up a little higher. That's all. No reason to stress, y'all. When y'all stress, sometimes y'all can get rid of a good man. Okay. Eventually he loves you. He'll choose you. Now you got to put a time frame on it. You can't be with no guy for no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Okay. You got to put a time limit on it. You got to be like, listen, you're going to get about 1.5 years of me. And after that, if we ain't ready to take this to the next level, then I'm on to the next. Okay. And that's just point blank. Don't let him string you on for, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years and things of that nature. And you're still like, the girlfriend. No, do you have a goal? Do you have a goal? Is your goal to get married? Is your goal to be with this person? Do you see yourself being with this person? Is this your person? Is this your partner? Is this, your husband? If that's what it is, then yeah, you're going to have to put in the work. Now, some guys, it ain't worth putting in the work for. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Hey to everybody who's tuned up into, hey y'all. Some guys, it's just not worth it. Okay. Honestly, some of y'all, let's talk about the things we don't want to do. All right, I'm going to talk about something that we don't want to do, okay? Things that we don't want to do in these relationships to get a man, okay? And some things that you have to kind of like hold back on. When you meet someone, you guys, this is just Siren speaking on the Siren Speak show, okay? When you meet these guys, of course, intimacy is going to be on their list, right? Because they already know what they want, right? And when it comes to us women, yeah, we want to kind of hold back as long as we can. And I think a lot of women, whenever we do become intimate with the man, we want to give him our best because we want to stand out. No, absolutely. This is just Siren speaking, y'all, okay? I say no. I say if you decide, okay, I'm ready to be intimate with Tyrone, and now y'all getting it in, I say do not give him your best, but you want to have conversations of your best. You want to be like, yeah, Tyrone, last night it was wonderful. I've been thinking about it ever since, but there are some things that I want to experience with you, but I don't know if that will ever happen because those are the type of things that I experience with my husband. Okay, I don't know. If ever we get married, I definitely would love to show you the best that I got. You want to keep him intrigued. So he's always going to be thinking about, dang, if I can't get it yet, like, what's she talking about? He's going to be intrigued. But if you giving him your best works right up there, front street, y'all, what does he have to stick around for? You know what I'm saying? So I always say bend back a little bit. Right? And I want y'all to bend back a little bit, even more when it comes to, let's just take it. If you have kids, y'all, please get the children out the way and put on your headphones or something or, close that conversation up a little bit, y'all, because it's going to get just for a second. All right. You want to not give 100% of yourself when it comes to intimacy. Don't give him your best moves. Don't give him your best, opportunities, or don't give him the full package. Okay. I think until you are married, he should only get about 15. I would say 10 to 15% of what it is that you have to offer. Okay. There are certain positions that I feel like a man should not get. Absolutely, positively not, unless we are engaged. Okay. Then I might put you up to the next 25%. And then when we marry, I would give you my all, because, this day and age, first of all, is not healthy. Okay. A lot of women, according to research, okay, a lot of women, you guys, and a lot of people, and it's men too, it's not just women, because I've read about this for men as well, are obtaining a lot of gut issues. They're obtaining a lot of throat issues. We're talking about throat cancer. We're talking about, very much so bacterial infections inside of the gut due to oral intimacy, you guys, and you can look it up. Okay, people are getting like, I know H. pylori, okay, from being intimate orally. Okay, I don't think you should put your mouth, honestly, on anything. I just don't think that should be an option for someone to feel satisfied. But if so, I think you should hold that back for your husband and or wife. I don't think it should be any random person or somebody that you have not signed a contract with to be, exclusive with one another, because there's a lot of bacterial stuff out here that people can do, that you can get from, being intimate orally. Okay. When it comes to anything in the reverse, which means anything back there, I don't think anybody belongs back there, okay? Physically and or orally, okay? That is like the trash chute. That is where all of the waste, okay, comes out. So we definitely do not want to engage anywhere back there. And if a guy were to ask you to engage with him from the reverse, back, anything he wants you to do back there should be a telltale sign it is time to run. Okay. So when it comes to intimacy, I'm saying just be a little more, bougie. Okay. When it comes to intimacy for your sake. Okay. And hold back on some things, you guys. Even if you decide you want to be intimate a lot sooner than you normally would, that's okay. That's not bad. That is okay. But I'm saying you want to keep it to just certain things. Okay. Don't go all out trying to prove a point or trying to, make him think about it. Doesn't matter. You don't want him to think about that and he's still out there with somebody else. What you want him to do is think about what he didn't get. Okay. Oh my God, if I got that, what? Oh, she said it was other things. I mean, you got to keep them intrigued. Okay. You want to keep them intrigued with your conversation as well. That's why you want your conversation to be mainly on dates. I feel like a guy would be with somebody who he's invested the most in. If you guys aren't requiring much from these men, trust me, you will be forgotten like yesterday's lunch. Okay. He got to be like, yeah, the one I went and paid $400 for on dinner, something has got to stand out. Okay. So you want to save those conversations for dates. Don't do too much caking on the phone. Y'all caking too much on the phone or text messages and things of that nature. Absolutely, positively not. You don't want him messaging you or calling you after certain hours. You want to keep it classy. Okay. You don't want him calling you 1 o'clock in the morning to what you doing? Blocking you. If he know you got to get up and go to work, whether you have to get up and go to work or not, I think any guy who has sincere feelings in his heart for you, that's how you know if he really cares about you, because he's concerned from the time that he meet you. He's like, oh, she might be asleep. I want to call her, but I know she might be asleep. She says she got to go to work tomorrow. Damn, I can't wait till she wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna call her first thing in the morning. You want those type of thoughts. Okay, you don't want a guy to be like, dang, what's she doing? Things of that nature. So definitely make sure that you have that healthy conversation to say, hey, I really have a great time with you. We have good conversations. And, I would just appreciate it if you don't call my phone after 9:30 p.m. because, I have to get my beauty rest. I have to get up early in the morning for work the next day. So, I tend to, put my phone on airplane mode or, I put it on this or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? You can call me first thing in the morning if you want. I know you're going to be thinking about me all night. That way that's different. He don't get that from everybody. Keisha, he could call her phone 3, 4 in the morning. It don't matter. She gonna answer. She, hello. Yeah, I was asleep, but what's up? He knows that. Give him something different to make him want to continue to reach out to you. Okay. Another thing is phone pictures. The minute a guy asks you for a phone picture, I think that is that is so disgusting to me. First of all, if you want to see me that bad, I want to see you. Send me a picture. You want to see me that bad, then you need to take me out on a date. Okay. Because I have a thing called Facebook. I have a thing called Instagram, and I have about 500 of my best pictures. Okay. They all edited. Okay, I only got on makeup. I only put out my best pictures over there. So go over there and choose one, and that's how you can see me. You know what I'm saying? But I think we need to stop sending those pictures and things of that nature. And I don't think a guy should be sending you pictures and things of that nature. We want to keep it to real intimacy. We want to be able to connect with one another. And if you want to see me, then, I'm available this Friday or Saturday. It's up to you, and we can go out on a date. I have a great restaurant that I've been dying to go to, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it too. Didn't you say you like steak? Okay, as opposed to sending him all your good pictures in your phone that you ain't sent to nobody. He don't deserve that yet. Okay, so we definitely have to make sure that we put out these lines. We want to make sure that we put the line down so that they don't cross them. And like I said, the more lines you put down, the more he is going to think about you, because no woman has checked him like that before. No woman has stopped him like that or made him think twice about his behavior, or inappropriate behavior. No one has ever kind of put him in his place like that. And even though you're doing it very sexy and very respectful and stuff like that, you're going to stand out in his head. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be the first person he's going to want to talk to in the morning. Why? Because he ain't talked to you since 7 o'clock yesterday, right? He ain't been caking on the phone with you all night long. Absolutely not. And you want to keep your conversations to a minimal. Don't give him too much conversation. If he wants the more conversation, the more he's going to have to take you out, okay? The more he's going to have to take you out. All right. So, just give him 2 seconds of a conversation over the phone. Hey, how are you? Thank you for calling me. I was thinking about you too. I had a great day at work today. How was your day? Oh, it was good. What did you eat for lunch? I'm a foodie, so I have to be nosy. What did you eat for lunch today? Oh my God, I love steak. I have a great restaurant I've been dying to go to, honey. We definitely are going to have to check that out. Maybe this weekend and next, but it was so good hearing from you. I am exhausted from work. And I tell you what, I'll definitely look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Can we chat tomorrow morning? Keep it very just like that. Don't be on the phone telling him your whole life. Don't be on the phone telling him about all your old relationships, what your mama did, with your cousin, them, how you live on this side, how you hate you. Don't give him too much information on the phone. He wants to see you then you have to make sure you schedule those dates, arrange those dates, honey. That way you can discuss it over a meal, right? So let's say you got the date, right? Now you want to make sure that when you're on this date, okay, there are certain things, certain conversations that are just off limits. You don't want to know nothing about his ex, okay? Please. You don't want to know anything about his ex unless it is his ex-wife and they have children together, okay? Then okay. But if it is his ex and if he brings up his ex, the only thing you need to know is, are you guys still together? No. Next. Okay? Not why y'all broke up. What did she do? None of that. You are not his therapist, okay? And if he continues to bring up his ex, then you need to let him know, hey, listen, I understand you may have had a rough time in that last relationship, but, I just feel like there are better conversations that we can have, as opposed to discussing your ex. That is something you want to put behind you. Right now, I just want to discuss how it is that you and I can move forward. How's your credit? How's your credit? Okay. What are you doing as far as like your future projections? You know what I'm saying? Are you working on your credit towards maybe a business venture? Are you looking to purchase a new home to live in? Are you looking to purchase some real estate or, things of that nature? Like these are the type of conversations we need to have. How long has he been on his job? Okay. Where is it that you work? What type of work do you do? How long have you been on your job? Not whatever happened with you and Keisha. I don't care. That has nothing to do with my future. Keisha is in the past. Why are we discussing the past? We definitely want to make sure that we are discussing the future. Okay. So asking those healthy questions, you guys, keeping that conversation very short. Okay. Very on all of those good, elegant questions, whatever it is you want to know about him. This is going to be the best time to, get that information out, because first of all, y'all at a dinner. Okay. So he's going to want to be very conservative. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be all into you because he's in an environment that he's not familiar with. You're at a new restaurant. He probably been there. He probably hasn't been there, but now he's going to be fully vested in you. He's going to be paying attention to you. Everything that you say matters now. And he's in a position to where he's kind of feeling automatically in the hot seat. So now is your time to get in those healthy questions and the things that you want answers to. Do not be afraid to ask him if he is into men. Okay. I think as women, instead of us being afraid and, all of that, we need to ask him, so are you only dating women? Have you ever dated a man, or are you, bisexual? We have to ask these questions, y'all, because we're going to be taking these men home to our children. Eventually they will be in the house with our sons and our daughters. Okay, if that's where the relationship is moving. So you need to do a very thorough interview before you allow this person in your heart and in your home. Okay, we don't want to find out from some children and family situation. We don't want to find out from some crime scene investigation, or we don't want to find out for some weird. We want to make sure, especially as mothers, for those of us who have children, we have to be able to interview these men before we bring them in our house. Okay, before we bring them around our children. And I think a lot of us, we tend to be, we're looking for love. We want that love so bad that we forget, we skip forward when it comes to some very critical aspects of being in a relationship or moving on to the next level with somebody. Okay, how fast should you introduce them to your children? That's up to you. Honestly, the way Siren did it. Okay, listen, I had men buying stuff for my kids for Christmas. They hadn't even seen my kids. They don't even know if I had kids for real in real life. But, I'm like, hey, it's Christmas time, or it's school time and things of nature. I have men that I dealt with that never met my kids. Never met my kids. They knew I had kids because I was a very proud mom. I would never hide the fact that I have children from a man. You know what I'm saying? I was a very much so proud mom, and I'm going to let you know straight up, I don't have time for no games, okay? So if you're going to play, you better be smart about it, okay? That's where my song Grown Woman came from, honey. I ain't got time for no games, okay? So yeah, I was very much so a proud mom, and I would let men know that, hey, you know, I have a family, you know, I'm a single mom, I have kids that I have to raise, so don't call my house all times of night. That's not going to happen. You know, don't pop up to my house. A lot of them didn't know where the hell I lived there anyway. But, you know, don't pop up to my house after a certain time. You know, there was just a level of respect that I demanded from anybody that I was engaging with. And I think for those of us who are mothers, we need to make sure that we put those demands out there. And the minute he crossed that line, especially when it comes to your kids, meaning if you told him I got kids that got to go to school tomorrow morning and I need to get my rest because I got to make sure I get them to school on time, I got to make sure I get to work on time, and you blowing me up 10:30 at night, that shows me already you have no respect for me. You have no respect for me, okay? You're blocked in the process right then and there. And we have to, when we first meet these men, you guys, you need to have a short fuse. Anything that they do wrong, see, that's their time. You're going to get the best of them in that window right there. And if they disrespecting you, or if they're rude, or if they're crossing the line right there in the time where you're getting the best from them, you could just know it's downhill from there. Okay, it's only downhill from there. So you got to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. You got to make sure that he's putting his best foot forward. Go out on as many dates. I always say, write down a list of all the bougie restaurants that you want to eat at. Okay, all of the $200 dinners that you want to eat at, write them down. Okay, and every time you get a date, you go to one of those restaurants, honey. Okay, and get you a to-go, right? And get you a to-go. Listen, it is what it is. Okay. This is your time to have a bougie dinner and a bougie conversation, okay, with the guy that you are getting to know. If you're interested in dating me and courting me, then, you know, you're going to have to be fully vested in this life of mine. You're going to have to know a lot about me. So that's why I say, don't hide your kids. A lot of women say, should I tell them I have kids? I don't know if I should tell them. You should always tell them you have kids, because that means the ante goes up. Okay, this is not a woman who, you know, when you take her out, because this is how I dated back in the day. If they took me out, honey, you best believe when I came home, you know, I had 2 extra meals for my 2 boys that were at home. So you're not just taking me out, you're taking me out to dinner, but you're also buying a meal for my kids, because they got to get used to taking care of you and the kids. You can't ever let a man think it's okay to just buy you something to eat and you got kids waiting on you. Absolutely not. Absolutely, positively not. Okay, I didn't bring them on this date because you don't need to meet them like that. But I got 2 kids that, you know, they gonna want some dinner. I got growing boys at home. Okay, I be on the phone. Little Tyrone, what you want? Listen, little Tyrone, what you want? Okay, I'm over here. I'm at the steak restaurant. You know, they won't be like, what you want? You know what I'm saying? You got to let him know that you have kids. You know what I'm saying? And you always want to introduce him to the ideal that what he does for you, he also has got to do for the kids. Okay. Don't ever let a man think it's okay to come in your life and not do anything for your kids. You got to let him know. I don't care if you meet him and y'all first date and Lil Jody birthday is next Friday. When y'all go on y'all date, hey, you know, I'm getting ready to, you know, get my son his birthday stuff, Lil Jody. You know, his birthday is next Friday. This is exactly what he wants. You know, I'm going to throw him a little birthday party, get him a little cake and everything and things of that nature. You want to let him know, okay? Honestly, from where Siren come from, the typical guy will be like, okay, well, is there anything you need for me to do? Okay. If there's not too many times that I can say you could be on a date with somebody who they can hear that type of stuff and do absolutely nothing. If he does absolutely nothing, then that's your that you know how to get that thing where the lady get the person, that's your time to go. Okay. Because any man who's not going to contribute towards the well-being of your kids or the happiness of your kids, you don't need to be involved with at all. Okay. I don't care how soon you meet him. The day you meet him, okay, if you meet him, let's say you out in the store. There are certain places that you don't want to meet men, you guys. I'm sorry. If you are a gas station chick, right? Let's say you pump a gas. You want to go to the more bougier gas stations, okay? You want to go to gas stations that are not in your neighborhood, okay? If you live in a neighborhood that ain't that bougie. You want to go to nicer parts of the town. You want to go as far as you can out, okay, east, west, I don't care, north, south. You want to go to different parts of, you know, certain nice little bougie towns of those homes that we be driving by, showing the kids, oh, that's a nice house. Oh, look at that one right there. Oh, that's where you want to grocery shop. That's where you want to get your gas. You know, if you're looking for a relationship, that's where you want to go, you know, to Starbucks, okay. You can also go to Chick-fil-A. You'll find them, you know, stopping to get something to eat sometimes at Chick-fil-A, at Starbucks, or some nice little bougie coffee shop. Perhaps you want to go in those areas to some nice hotels, sit down, have you a nice little bougie lunch, get you a nice little Caesar salad, okay, and a glass of lemon water, okay. And you want to go in areas like that of the areas where they live, okay. If they are single, then perhaps you may run into them, or they are willing to cheat on their dang on wife. Y'all know how they do, okay. You will run into them. That's why I say you got to make sure you're asking them, are they married, okay? Because you just don't want to get that type of karma attached to you, all right? You don't want that type of karma on your back, because that is a long drawn out lifetime that you may not be interested in, honey, okay? So, yeah, you definitely want to go to the right places, pick up different energies, you guys. Step outside of your comfort zone, right? Just step outside of your comfort zone, you guys, when it comes to dating, when it comes to meeting men. They may not be your same ethnicity. Okay, you never know. Love will find you in many different ways. Who knows? Now, me, listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up, Siren is a girl. I love a good old tall, sexy chocolate man, y'all. I am all for the brothers. Okay. I have tried in the past, okay, with a little white chocolate, honey. It didn't make it past a couple of conversations all times, okay? I even dated a peach guy, meaning he was kind of high yellow. He was very much so, that was the lightest I ever went. And I just, I'm not into the light-skinned brothers. Now, a guy who's like my complexion, I call that like that little pecan 10, that's still a little too light for me. I love a sexy, chocolate brother. I love the melanated man, that alpha male, honey. He just does something, and I feel like, when you stick to what it is that you want, when you know what it is that you want, then that's what you're going to be looking towards. You're not just going to be out there all random, all willy-nilly. Okay. So let me see. Shout out to y'all. Hey to everybody who's tuned up into. Hey, Flora. How are you? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you guys so much for coming in and giving the video a big old fat thumbs up. I really, truly appreciate it, you guys. When it comes to love, we want to close out on the first person you need to love is self. I always tell you guys that, okay? If you want to find love, and I'm just going to tell you the way I found love in here, right? I found love by loving myself. When I was younger, I attracted a lot of insecure men, right? Which means I went through phases where I experienced domestic violence, right? The men who I dated when I was younger were very insecure, like very, very, very insecure. And I was insecure because I tolerated it, but it taught me a lot about myself. When I look back on those relationships and those connections and things of that nature, you guys, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me how to love myself. And it taught me the fact that I didn't love myself enough at that time. Whenever you deal with anything that you don't feel comfortable with dealing with, it's not your time to address the man or the situation. That's your time to address yourself. Okay. That's your time to address yourself. That's a time to say, okay, what's going on with me that I will stand in a relationship where I'm being disrespected, either verbally, financially, emotionally, physically, however it is that you're allowing the disrespect to go on. It's not your time to check him. It's your time to check you. Okay, to see what's going on inside of you. Where is the lack inside of you to where you will willingly stay in a connection that doesn't make you happy? The first person you got to make happy is you. When you focus on what you want and you focus on your own happiness, your relationship is only going to mimic, how happy you are with self. Right? So if he's doing anything that you don't like, or if he's doing anything to bring about sadness or stress or chaos in your life, then you need to really take a look, and see what it is that's going on with you. And why is it that, you are experiencing this through this connection? Because if you leave him and, move on to somebody else, then this is where we get that all men are dogs, or every relationship I go in, it's the same thing over and over and over again. All right. And we definitely don't want that. We want to stop the cycle. A lot of us, that's our whole purpose in life, you guys, is to stop these cycles that have been, circling generation after generation after generation. There are some families where they like, oh, none of the women in our family is married. You know what I'm saying? Or all the women in my family are side pieces and things of that nature. When I grew up, like I said, majority of the women in my family were dating married men, not just my mom. I've seen, you know, my aunt do it. Like, and we had, like, these men were over there, like they were really in full-blown relationships. I didn't know as a young girl until I got older, and my sister them told me, like, you know, he was married. I'm like, you know, and that was my daddy. I called him stepdaddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not know that. But when it came to my, you know, to my mother, you know, and things of that nature, you know, from what I hear when they were growing up, they watched kind of like the same thing take place. So it was up to me to keep that going, right? Or it was up to me to stop that cycle right then and there, okay, with dating married men. Now, let Siren tell y'all, when I met my husband was a married man. Okay, my husband was a married man when I met him. He and I dated for about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, before I found out that he was married. Okay, like I said, they're not going to volunteer that information. However, when I asked him, now, should I have asked him early on? Yeah. But I didn't, because we were together every day. When I tell y'all, man, babe was like that, we were together every day. We went to sleep, you know, together. We woke up together. Like, from the time we met, we were just like really like this, right? And like, he would leave and he would be like, I have to go take my kids to school, because he was taking the kids to school. And then he would come back with me. And then I met his kids, like, you know, his kids, we went all out to like movies and all of that stuff. So, and I'm talking early on, like I said, within 6 weeks. And he told me, I asked him, I said, are you married? I just so happened to ask him while we were out on a date. And he was like, yeah. But he said it like he said no. I'm like, did he say yes or no? He said yes. So I said, well, you know, I'm sorry. I don't date married men, you know? And that's when he told me that, okay, well, I'm legally married, but I'm also in the middle of a divorce. My wife and I, we have filed divorce. We live separately, you know, and that's what's going on. So legally, I'm married. So, of course, I took his word, but I didn't really take his word. So I told him, if that's the situation, then I want to meet your wife. So he gave me her phone number. Okay, he did. He gave me her phone number, and I reached out to her and I said, hi, how you doing? I'm Siren. I am currently dating your husband, who I know now as your husband. And I would like to get more information on you guys' divorce. And she and I met up for breakfast. And we sat down and I said, you know, I know people will want to work their marriage out anytime. You can say, hey, I want to, you know, be with you. I want to make this marriage work. I say, if at any time you want to make this marriage work, I want you to let me know. And she was like, you know what, girl, he's yours. You can have him. We're done. Like, we are so done. And that's the reason why I stayed with him. And we continued to, you know, date. But y'all know every day I was, what did you sign? Every time he came to my home, did you need a pen? Did y'all sign? So they went through their divorce classes and, you know, the whole process, because they had children that were involved. And, you know, everything just went through. And the minute he divorced her, I think maybe about a couple months later, he and I, you know, got married, because by then time had no passed, honey. And that's how that went. Like I said, that was my chance to break the cycle. Okay. Like I said, I saw women dating married men, having babies from married men. I could have possibly been a side baby. If for those of you who watch my vlog, if you haven't watched it, go watch where I do the DNA. I think it says he took a DNA for a child. That's when I found out that the guy who I knew as my father for 50 years, damn near 50 years, was not my father. Okay. So I went from being a side baby to, you know, his maybe, things of that nature. So yeah, I grew up seeing a lot of things, but I didn't want to keep that, you know, I didn't want to keep that going. And even to this day, you know, in my family, there are still, you know, those in my family that would still take that route. But fortunately, our generation, we were the generation that we all have husbands. We're the wives. We're not the side piece and things of that nature. We are the wives. And the generation right behind us, they are the wives as well. So I see we did, take a step to make that change. Okay. But prior to me making that change, it was still a cycle of dating, somebody's husband or, dating somebody else's man, things of that nature. That was something that was very common. So we get in these connections for a reason. And, like I said, that was my chance to change the generational energy in the bloodline for us. Because I could have been like, okay, he married, it is what it is. They're running my family. We all side. I didn't want to be nobody's side piece. I'm like, no, I made up my mind at a very young age. I'm not going to be anybody's side piece. So that was just my experience, you guys, when it came to me meeting my husband. And had I not ever met his then wife, y'all wouldn't be hearing me on these lives or videos with Bay. Because I wasn't gonna let him just tell me anything like, oh yeah, we divorced. And she did verify everything. And like I say, I'm like, I want to meet you, I want to see you, I want to talk to you, and she had no means of reconciling with him. They were over, they were done. And, it is what it is. And I'm grateful that she did meet with me. And, like I said, we had breakfast and, you want those type of connections. Because I'm like, now I gotta, have your kids around, and we were going to be blending the family and stuff like that. So I wanted a connection where I would be able to have, a healthy conversation with the ex-wife if kids are involved. I didn't want it to where I have nothing to say to her, she have nothing to say to me. At times it did get like that between us, but over time, we were able to get past a lot of things. I think that when I got pregnant with the twins, she kind of felt some type of way. I don't think she knew our relationship would go, the way it did. But I think when I got pregnant with the twins, she kind of felt some type of way. And, I think, when we got married and stuff like that, she kind of felt some type of way. So it was just a little bit of that. But eventually she got past it. And to this day, I can, get on the phone, call her. We can talk about the grandkids, the kids and things of that nature. She's now in another marriage, me and Bae still together. And that's how I wanted it to be. I didn't want anything BS. You know what I'm saying? I wanted something very mature, something very comfortable. And like I said, when you put those demands, you can't put those demands on anybody but yourself. You got to put yourself in that situation first. You got to put those demands on you first. And then everybody else outside of you will only follow the way you treat yourself and what you expect and what you want for yourself. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to see y'all on Wednesday when we come on here and we're going to talk more about health and a little bit more about love. I'm not really sure, but we'll get there when we get there. In the meantime, y'all, make sure y'all leave some comments down here to let me know if there's something in specific y'all want to talk about in regards to life, love, or whatever it may be, and we'll get there. See y'all soon. Bye, y'all.